papa niema ekoso e the various hospitals ava yenko.
Yeah, Alaska my venture what here for. And I think so and then I decided to pay attention to some of the videos circulating on various social media platforms. And I think the scenes, are quite unfortunate. And this issue, there are, your friend saying, I quite say a crime. It has two sides.
Okay.
And depending on how you look at it critically. In the first place, I'm not sure say it would be to walk into a hospital with camera. No, you don't do that. And be shouting at health workers away. It's totally uncalled for. It was needless. And I think, I don't know whether that was an attack or not, but we have various media platforms now. Me who almost say assault. I don't know whether it was a verbal assault or was a physical assault. That one I'm not. Because the video now I'm sharing, who's will be turning Sabobi.
That's right.
By a car assault, you don't need to be in a physical. We have
videos be so by ya bandage nurse ni be inside.
Which means yabono.
That's right.
It's quite unfortunate. It's nasty. Alaska, you see, hospital settings, no said the name city and emergency service and so forth. Yes, I am not sitting and say Oko hospital nurses and doctors and so forth. No, obia ne kula subam papa.
Okay.
Said you be adwuma bia koma uhu sa nkrofo no bi wo no. The same sa net yo ba bia. Obi wo ha adwuma no unko kra sometime obi wo ha kasa no gina ne phone so.
Exactly.
TikTok abai ni na so forth at the crucial time no unko no. Na nipa no spend much of the time watching their video. O can some check na just na for no. Me, I've gone to hospitals, I've experienced some of these things. It happens very all the time. The same way we call shop o kotadia. Nipa no to no here ni baby obi hu ni mobile fan na say ontena counter man. O to ade no your rough. O gina phone so kasa krom fiu.
Mobon say.
Yes. So these things, we should know say a attitude we as people. So it doesn't matter whether the person becomes a nurse, a doctor, or your friends a shop attendant. And I say we last me call your friends a filling station. Say me call koto. Your friend say a fuel. Maybe fuel every hokoe because of the attitude. It's so nasty everywhere. What I say so sometimes you cast young people. Me and you mama man for binja. Sometimes a binusinya opportunity na and say muhunune. Some of these things it put two people off. So on that basis, it's possible somebody may go to a hospital and care nurse you may be delayed, and I say people will look at you in some way and now we be kakasa fi bi achira one so akoma ma wan hwe obato nsa. These things do happen, and I'm sure so be our hospital one way or the other might have come across some of these things. But Alaska, you see, my culture said it doesn't justify some of these things because you can't emergency services in as a form. Sometimes when you be deep insight into what actually happens there, you may not know how they go about their things. You may be arguing from a very ignorant position.
Okay.
Because and now most of the facilities now we be a triage. Nipa no ufifia ba wiyam yo ya gidi ya roba na ya do ko triage na ho na ya ba score wa hu se ya fan se ya wo green ya wo yellow ya wo we na be determine state na wo mu no se nipa no owu ana se na the situation ni sete so at the triage na be determine ba bia ya mfa nko any services na sefo a ya de be ma at any point in time enti severely we na o here attention no Alaska that person becomes the first option you need to attend to that particular person. The last time I catch you say Obiko hospital na we have no da ho tietia me ma me wo me tiatiam na wo a wote nchan a we ebusuani no wadwe ne say nipa no wu ani ohiamoa but nurse ni no ogina nchan doctor ni na ohe no the da ho din a ontimi nkam no that person ehia care chan the tiatiam no.
Okay.
But the last time I catch you say one who be a owu a osunda one will be a woo da.
No.
Because when you are bad dying, a dear friend energy wouldn't be now with the Atiana with you. And whenever you are in hospital or shout to her, you are telling that the nurse and doctor you have enough strength and you can survive. You are not dying.
Okay.
There was a time, number one of the hospital emergency na Kufo Basi Koshi ni Pabbi to Mugu ye, number. I was the only person on duty at the night. I would theater. I had to do suturing a whole lot of stuff. Alaska nipa no go you as a professional, no, you have to look at the individual based on your friend saying severity of their way.
Okay.
And our first attempt to mom that whole deal to make a come than the autumn. Oh, Ness, oh, me hire is when you are the only person at the timer. You look at the individual based on your friend saying severity of the condition and the kind of way. And these are things I would in China as an ordinary person. I might think, oh, the attention here care. But as a professional, no, him said the other whole dinner, Ebiana, the breeding crown, and Koye.
Okay.
That person, no, SBA, man, oxygen. Now making sure, say, SPO2 check it, who the oxygen saturation level. Now, who the kind of care would be man, Sabaya, or not Sabaya very active in the for them. So, these are some of the things and their cause. So, the mere fact is, say, Obiura emergency. I don't know what happened there, but I'm saying, say, generally, the mere fact of Obiura emergency now doesn't mean, say, kiki, I'm for the good. So, especially when you know, say, we are limited in capacity when it comes to some of these hospitals. Hospital at the time, I don't say no bet me here, and also can about the constraint that our hospital or then as a form. So, Obiaba, that's according to we know here, you say you're bandaging in some mojano because the first thing is to stop the bleeding.
Okay.
So, I did you bin sir, near stopping the bleeding. That is the fatal way, yeah, that is the most important thing. So, the person may bandage the hand, stop the bleeding, and maybe may decide to attend to other critical way. Because Alaska, when you accident, do you know why people die? Sometimes a natural organ and fracture, she natural, and you bleeding when you lose blood, cha, and I'm a woo.
All right.
So the most immediate thing you do as a nurse, I will hear say you stop the bleeding. Okay. That is the first thing. So that stopping the bleeding, you know, may be enough. So maybe. So stopping bleeding anywhere, the person might not come to you straightforward. Rather, will decide to go to another person. So accident victims, aba, nipanaba, who bleed. The first thing anybody will do after checking of vitals and stop bleeding, you know, they will check of vitals. Maybe what check SPO2 or crab 98 as for oxygen saturation level high. What check temperature is okay. What check BP is normal and as a form. Now obi da whole Alaska, won't you move and go and look at the person?
You have to.
Exactly. So these are some of the technical details you need to know. And some of what conclude this nipa na better and the mere fact will be that bed so no doesn't mean that the whole emergency should just na we hospital we are very ignorant about some of this. My catch young cotton emergency nkosu enko hu say mehu mu mobo ne sa kind of because there are people who are dying. And emergencies, so people are coming in. So the very moment I have first aid, and you bleeding with no more boo or much we are the next thing. It be a painkiller, and as a be a pain injection, be na order from pharmacy or one from the wall. Then you wait for subsequent care. Sometime the doctor on call, no, they'll have to call him because next in the amount of first aid, I'll stop bleeding. I check your vitals and who say you are stable. You may be feeling pain, but that doesn't worry. Or they can't do anything about it. The best thing to do is maybe they wait for the doctor and now say some pain medication be or her other mount and sana. Remember what theater what I did? They say sometimes obana will bleed and I say deep in cuts in here very deeper. What I'll do is I'll give you lidocaine, maybe a good site or making sure that the body become numb. Then I will see you.
Okay.
Opamu we are. Then the next care will be provided because the whole essence when it comes to RTA. Road traffic accident, to stop the bleeding. Okay. That is the most important thing. And we see the video now. I said the bandage was applied, the bleeding was stopped.
So it means
you've been attended to.
That's right.
So you don't need to put a camera and it was nasty. And some of these things we shouldn't entertain. Alaska hospital is a private space. You can't just be putting camera on people's faces. Now, no. Because we cry our hospital, and some of this, when you're careful, or somebody can sue you for millions of cedis.
That's right.
And Ghana, we take some of these things for granted. And Alaska, you see, some of the challenges in our hospital, sometimes it goes beyond the healthcare workers.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. Now, Alaska, now, the facility. Now, oxygen, you know, for no nurse, you know, not the hospital, no, on top oxygen, no. And I say, I say, your friend say scan. Now, but when I say, your friend say scan machine, you know, I say, it's a case in the Kosi Tamale. Near no Muhian, a new hospital. Doctor now, honey on in the top, nurse in your in the top.
I am buying and I was so provided.
Now, I've been an American military jet and then myself, military and finance. So you as a country must get your priorities right. You understand? So if there are challenges, a war hospital where Emma or Muntminya a big room to attend to a lot of people at the same time, and then we should be looking at how to widen the space. Good. Just to ensure that we accommodate a lot more people. That one is not a problem of the nurse and our doctor, no, because they are working based on the capacity that is available. Exactly. Exactly. So that is the issue. So I think that some of these issues, you know, when you're careful now, my time camera na me show say no me say one here you end up advertising ignorance.
That's right.
And this kind of your friend saying foolish bravado, like no, these things. And the fact is, I don't know why they allow those guys are not part of the way to even get to the emergency room. You don't do that because some of the emergency apart from theater, no, yeah, hospital would be another year, Juma. Your mini theater and your main theater. So when you're student now about suturing and as for a so your red line. You can't cross. Because a sterile area you don't cross. So you can't just barge into an emergency room, let alone say where you saw camera. No. And I saw other people insulting, shouting.
And so it means one, the security of airway very weak.
Exactly. And you say Omono and yet police ne soldier for an private security, and some of them they can easily be overpowered, and sometimes we allow certain things. But other places, emergency room, no, or yeah, external person you can't even enter. When you drew gate to a macatch actually, because go inside there now where you can provide care, you can't do this. So, in as much as admit that there are some unprofessional behavior among some of the health workers, and I'm sure say I'm kind of you genuinely need care.
That's right.
Obi have problem now who come no, and yes why you busy o. Say nipa na busy is different thing, but nipa na to on few kra. What I say?
So it's our two sides.
Two sides na make depending on how you look at it.
That's why we condemn the gentleman. We must also talk
about some of this behavior.
Professionalism.
Yes. Na phone ne sa TikTok so ne sa nema no nipa no and utie Rafa. Some of them, I say nurses in nurse and a catcher and a crowd was quite unfortunate. I say, also can send me to say, my buying no corruption. Nippon or no basa professional be always sick and not buying bang.
You see?
Oh no, I buying. I buying on a woman's way. You see? So, you see, some of these things, and the escalate because you know, nipa. Maybe hospital so you may have all the right reason, but if you talk to me in this foolish fashion, definitely no, I'll also explode. Come on, buying about corruption, I say you me this guy, and or you're part of it. So I think there's some of these things, I'm told there's investigation. You see, the investigation, yeah.
They'll tell you it's in the pipeline. I don't know my pipes and maybe I'm more choking.
And investigation, Papa Ben, I want to come back room. So Alaska, I think that you see. Some of these things, we must be very careful and making sure that Makasa in nation building, a take collective effort. And also maybe he also thought to say he has to highlight some of these problems because he's not the only person or complaining. And there are several other people who also go through the same thing. You understand? So unse gidi and then health minister, yeah, I can't copy why and almost baby be a family.
And near my almost a nuclear, almost a woman,
exactly
like Tamale, health minister.
Yes, so we see that I highlighted some of the key issues. So it means, we don't need to sit down for some of these things to happen.
That's right.
Because in a hospital, they should have a quality assurance team or one whether care that is being provided is up to standard or not. Do we have external people who very often check some of these things? Alaska, of course, some of the hospital are aware so.
Oh yes.
Me say, especially for pregnant women. Near ma oko hospital binim do am no. Uhu a we be ho. Akra keto no we school about behavior be that kind of arrogance, some foolish way be. And some are omu free na no ba kan kire okra wa bombebu,
especially say onim say politician bi na adena ba ho, politician bi na ta na chi womophobia anya.
No,
but to be twa.
Oh yeah, I think that we need to say I don't know womophobia answer example.
That's right.
And I think that you see you don't need to wait for some of these situations to pop up. The RAF koye say a very robust system. Reporting mechanism be that say. So Alaska Alcohol Hospital no be din sem hunu we echa na okakasa fi se echirewa. There is this channel that you need to go through to report.
That's right.
And you know say somebody will act on it. I'm not sure saying this thing will happen. And going forward, we must also be looking at say there is this official channel of communication. Will be dissatisfied.
Exactly.
And that was the thing I was looking for. Say the minister will mention because me koko lebu. Na sa me koda ho na say obi a treat me anyhow na obi amfa na wo na say wunni obi animu de kwada wo de che say wo ye choro obi kura bi mo mo mfa wo nya hwe
bank bi ewo Ghana ha na say uwura ho na uye we a wo say unya fee open no nya message na ya tell say uba services ti say say uba na next say ha na wo say wo do complete na omu wo kom be fa so mu say wanya fair service say na what say we no.
Yeah, yes.
It tells us o mani wo madwuma no.
Yes.
But I say abandwuma na the same nurses yi wo mu ko other private institutions so ekoye adwuma na ho do do ho a oje ni ye.
Yeah, yes.
In the cases aband the supervision here less and the private one very strict ana.
Na say aband adwuma ye say ye fan say nye obi ama me de nye obi papa de e Rollins de nti wo kwa telephone no wo kasa wi ano wo de atoso enshingu because nya wo na wo tua. And that is the attitude. Oh, yeah, attitude no. Kobangalo we a teacher for ne ye fancy necessity.
A police for.
Police ni watena a dan for 18 years penti kura no he dan no ho twen sa aban me penti. Ba ye no an dan kwato penti asanyi. Aya one day ko police bungalows na ko he dan o motetitim. Common maintenance kura na toda no abetimi aye you don't wait for aban onya because dan nya ne de but he forgets he's spending a better part of the youthful day or that particular dilapidated building do you be onyansania some of this thing you don't wait that is our attitude and there you are buying there no because you can't go to any private facility and be treating people omukura oda ho no bia my cry they will tell you say is it an over hospital you see one key thing nurse ni bia be kire your friend establishing a rapport no kire say when the nurse and the patient no create some communication be
okay
nipa no so Ralph by ya chichiri we na wie accident to say no the most important thing as ye never stop the bleeding now ya stop bleeding no other guy no modern buy no ono say ya stop bleeding no enti montwen ya fra doctor oba ana say ya kwakwaje aduro ana say ebia no mbeko theater akwakotwa x-ray to know then you calm the person down no him say oh ye bibiama no it's part of nursing training
okay
I ever catch us say twen by ha no nipa no mu mfa onya hwe nti on ka hwe nkire wo what as here because ask now kasa me twen na me hwe na wonya me hwe na wakotena ase a me nipa agitate na then na ekoso what as here but it is your job to ensure say wachikire nipa na wi a mani hu say accident no the nipa nya accident apart from say wuti bebo ho na say for the nipa wu bleeding
okay
because body part ba bi twa na say emoja no hwie gu a circulation no blood no pump a new capacity and blood no mu na nutrient and oxygen be to the body part so you definitely will die. That is why obi poncha o jugular vein na say for my seconds we bewu cause blood na my nipa the only thing be drain from your body be mu wu ntem e moja
okay
so around for munya accident about 80% your blood loss in the kuomo.
Wow.
Yeah, because the more blood na hwe agu no wintimi sesa ngum and you will die. Enti unya such major accident now ba nipa no echechire bandage no stop bleeding na wo as an ordinary person wo free so onyanya hwe ma but that is the most significant part of your friends treatment or the amount but mistake omo ye any say they will tell you say reassure you say yeah you say everything is going to be fine wait maybe you kwaje draba maybe you kwakotwa x-ray and now you kwakoye say na waka kire nipa na wate ne ho ase
that's right
but an ordinary person who is obi ho hospital yemfa nso nsi ni so say anya no hwe o oh yes
aso bia wako asori yanhye no nkom
yes
osofo ne mbe
yemfa last me kwa sorry dem na ma me di adanse say ye fa ne say ne ba kwa awaso yemfa se kan yanka ne anya no operation mi say mo da mo yare yo alaska ne ba kwa awaso yemfa se kan yanka na ha na ka say do se kan yo operation na ade ehu it's an option you can go for. Cesarean section is the one of the easiest surgery that can be done anywhere. Just about you see, SVD no spontaneous vaginal your first delivery no sometimes na very tricky and a man no nyo obia no pesa akra fa na se
okay
because obi o konya akra ni tika akra ka fa wase ba wase wo ye ho hwe nyeye enti trebi ko nu wase ba oh ade no be say we 40 years kra ma back biem enti it's an option a man for kokoje so cesarean session ya de ehu enya bonsama de the only time a doctor be recommend emergency is when your friend be CPD
okay
cephalopelvic disproportion when akra no ne ti no so chen oba no pelvic no because tire no sweep through the pelvic and sana pie enti akra ne ti so a na oba no pelvic ni so a enkom
akwala afi na oba with so
enti enkom ono automatically no say ye friend say say ye CS and obi so ba your friend be your first bleach presentation instead also need to be ba na na yan di kan
I said akwala stop
yes also no need say no so no one careful your friends a period of delivery no through SVD spontaneous vaginal bleeding na delivery na e be check cha asphyxia akra na bia your friends say oxygen as e ko ni brain mu no ne sanka na be hu akra bia be wo no wa jimi that kind of way almost say oh yeah so free fa birth complications sometimes no oxygen as akra no nya no deprive na they become asphyxiated at that young age na affect the brain and ho we ntu bo say na no part no na edureni sa enye we some of these things are part of some of these complications in as for them so Alaska so wo he some of these things ne they were available now obi say okobo mpaya say na buy new operation now say oh it's the easiest thing but okra no mre because oba go through that natural way na very complicated oh
that's right
because especially obi oti akura say na wunim akra no style odeba ana wunim say ni ti no eba na imagine say awo account na wo na duro na ye behu say akra ni ti ntime at that time na ye do be call emergency akwa operation ye be we no wawu is the reason why very often sa your first maternal mortality near rate no because at that time no you need to prepare quickly and take the person to your friend saying theater oba prepare be we no bia na akra na wu and sometimes you go for the CS now there are hospitals that you opt for it they will do it for you so enya dia bia ehu say ye kodi hu adanse na modi nyina mon kwaje madanse back na ensemunu na yes ye ka ignorance asem so Alaska but nipa no ofra bonten ba no they don't know these things so you as a health professional no and as a utechire nimu na o chire nimu say adin say na tie me ya sure say nkomunya daje e ma Raf ni team no sa assurance because when you obi eti onu so wapira enti wo he na wie no you have attended to him oh twen say and ye be ye na nipa no hu say me twen obi amodamo say aba hospital na one man first aid you ra catch say chale twen bia nipa no oba onya ma ya say ne de nya na sem but if in the absence of such communication
it's a communication gap
exactly na nipa no so sign kan sem hunu kirawo because asem na all kana is anything to go by mo I say why do you work like I didn't know more yes I say mo nkrofo no mo di sika no hwan nkrofo mo mpanimfo no if
that's our mindset to be
exactly mindset no you cannot visit him or we visit it on Raf or no other politician and no sika be no nudi what asem na make can say so I think say some of these things we need to be very careful and be guided.
Madam say that was Ivan Kyei Innocent. This takes us to 24 minutes into 4 p.m. Messages in the banner eba. Red we fi ko for radio Alaska me gi say wo ho ye